On May 10th, 2010, I was right in the middle of a 10-month-long missionary internship in Arusha, Tanzania. And on one of my break days, I went hiking with a friend in a gorge outside of the city I was living in. Along that hike, we decided to kind of expedite the exiting process and go up and try and scale these more harrowing cliffs. And my friend Nadine wanted to go first, so I let her start climbing up. And the rock is like kind of crumbly, but there are roots that you could grab onto and hold onto that were pretty sturdy. And I was maybe 6 feet below Nadine's bottom of her feet, and we started hearing mutterings from above us, and these kids were looking down over the top of the gorge, starting to talk to us. And then Nadine spoke with them, and she sounded pretty panicked and kind of got me worried, so I started climbing up to her. Then I heard some pebbles bounce next to me, and I look up and I hear her scream, and then she starts falling towards me. I reached out to try and stop her, and was able to grab her, but subsequently also fell off the cliff. It's not like the movies, Tom Cruise doing like cliffhanger stuff where you got someone in one hand and you're on the rock on the other. It doesn't quite work like that. It came down and hit one of the ledges that we had previously rested on, and the first fall there was about 40 feet. I hit the back of my head on a tree and the front of my face on a rock and was knocked unconscious. I woke up at the bottom of the cliff after another 120-foot bounce and tumble. And I was half blind. I kind of look around and I see Nadine slumped up against a rock, and I thought she was dead. And then I saw this bubble of spittle kind of form on one of her lips and then pop. And I thought, okay, well, that means she's got some sort of airway. I ended up with a pretty severe concussion, but no broken bones. Nadine was not as fortunate. She ended up breaking off her medial condyle, had a pelvic rami fracture, I think a left fib fracture, severe concussion also, and broken a finger or two, but survived, and now is doing really well. I think it's a complete miracle that we're alive, and that's one of the reasons that I decided to go to medicine. This last September, I was at a conference with Dr. Hayton. It was a Bethel Healing and Ministries conference. They had a breakout session where you go and pray for healing. In one of these sessions, I went up, and the man was very kind and gentle, and he placed his hand upon my head and was praying for me. He said, "I want you to follow me on something really quick here." I said, I forgive. I said, forgive. And I was like, oh, I can't think of anybody I haven't forgiven. So it was kind of a shock. Okay, I forgive. And then he said, myself. And I said, myself, and I broke down and wept for a long time, probably 30 minutes or so, recognizing that one of the things that hadn't happened and I hadn't been allowed to step into, or I didn't allow myself to step into about this, was recognizing and my own guilt about myself and her situation from the fall. In being led to do this with somebody who's very healing for me. And that's a process of ministry and faith that I think God asks for us and wants for us, is to not only be forgiven by Him, but also to be that gracious with ourselves.